Hey guys, Ivan here, and we are 2 days after the Arnold Classic 2025, and the tradition continues. After each big show, I like to make these disappointments and surprises videos. The idea that I took from the Tominator, who is now retired from making YouTube videos. I don't know where he is and what he's doing, but I hope he's watching now. We're gonna start this video, this disappointments video, with Samson Dauda, who is in one way the biggest and also the smallest disappointment on this list right here. Why? Well, because a lot of people are actually saying that he was the same as he was at a Mr. Olympia. I can't confirm if that was truly the case because I only watched the live stream and I saw the videos and the photos, but some people who were over there, for example, Fuad Abiad, who I don't think has the reason to lie about this, if anything, it would probably benefit him and Samson more if he said that Samson was off. But he said that Samson was in the same condition as he was at the Mr. Olympia, only bigger. At least that's what he wrote on his Instagram story. And if that was the case, if he was truly the same, in the same condition but bigger, I think he was bigger. I don't know if he was in the same condition, maybe the lighting was different. I think he was not, but let's assume he was. If that is the case, then why would you say that he's disappointment? He's not, right? Because he delivered. But what is disappointing here, it's that he lost. He is the Mr. Olympia. He is officially the best bodybuilder in the world. He won the last Mr. Olympia. He came to this show and it was supposed to be a relatively easy win. Like almost everybody had Samson in their prediction winning this show. Almost everybody. Myself included. I thought he was on that level that the other guys won't be able to beat him unless he is horribly off. Was he horribly off? I don't think he was horribly off. I think he was not in the same condition that he was at a Mr. Olympia, but that's my opinion, from what I'm seeing. I think he was considerably worse as far as conditioning right here. So in my opinion, if he nails it for the Mr. Olympia this year, he's still going to win. But if he was actually spot on right here, and it's only Derek who improved conditioning and that's why he won, then I don't know about the Mr. Olympia. But again, my opinion is he was not really in the same condition here as he was last year. So in my opinion, he disappointed because he didn't win and he is the reigning champ. And also because he didn't really deliver the conditioning. It's kind of confusing now. Is he going to be able to bring it again? Was 2024 a fluke? Maybe he was lucky at one time and he won't be able to nail it ever again. We don't know that. That's why it doesn't really look very good for Samson. However, he still did place second. That's a pretty good result. And Derek is a former Mr. Olympia. So it's not like he was fifth or something like that, or that he looked horrible. He still looked pretty good, but since he is the Mr. Olympia and it was expected from him to actually win this, yeah, it was pretty disappointing, to be honest. Alright, the next guy is Carlos Thomas Jr., in my opinion, the biggest disappointment of this show. Why? Well, because there was a conversation about Carlos actually winning the whole show. That's right, some people actually consider that idea. I never saw it that way. In my prediction video, I had him in 9th, I believe, and that's exactly where he placed. He did not deliver conditioning, and it's as simple as that. Yeah, you could say his back could be better, and sure, it could be better, it could be bigger, it could be improved, but if he was in solid conditioning, I'm sure he would have placed much higher because he is a freak, man. Like, he is one of the most muscular guys pound for pound on that stage. It's only the conditioning that was lacking. Why did he fail with conditioning? That is a good question, to which I do not have an answer. I can only guess, and my guess is that it's not his coach's fault. I don't think the issue is the approach that he took, because he was prepped. This video also was taken by his coach, Patrick Tour. The same coach that is coaching, for example, Keon Pearson, and at this show, he, for example, coached Logan Franklin, who is also kind of known for not really bringing the conditioning or really nailing the peak, and for once in his life, he truly nailed it. Take a look at this condition, man. Logan was peeled, shredded. So there is a possibility that Carlos didn't really do what was necessary, what was asked of him. Maybe he has troubles staying on a diet. There are bodybuilders like that. Not everybody can actually endure the prep and suffer and get in this kind of condition. Some guys just can't handle it. Usually because they can't endure the suffering, or sometimes because they feel like they're getting too flat, too small, and then they do things by themselves. The other possibility is, of course, that Carlos, for some reason, can't get in condition. Like maybe he was truly suffering, did whatever it was required of him, and his body just wouldn't respond. Could that really be the reason? I guess there is a chance, but I wouldn't bet on that. I think anybody can get in solid condition, especially if they're working with one of the best coaches in the world. If they're doing whatever is asked of them, I'm sure, I really believe that Carlos could have been in much better condition than this if he did everything that Patrick told him to do. But I don't know, maybe there are guys who have trouble figuring out their condition. Maybe his body is just not responding to anything. Again, I doubt that, but that is a possibility. But whatever is the reason, Carlos failed to bring the conditioning. And at one point in prep, when everybody was talking about him and he was posting all those freaky physique updates, he went on a couple of podcasts and he said that he is prepping to win the show. So he believed it, or at least he said he believed it. And what happened, he ended up all the way down in 8th, beating only Patrick Moore, who is basically a classic competitor, Justin Rodriguez, who is supposed to retire since a couple of years ago, and the guy that was there because he turned pro last year at the Arnold Classic Amateur. So a very disappointing result, and the package from Carlos Thomas Jr. I do think he has the potential to do really well. If he happens to be watching this, I just hope it's gonna make him work harder and actually bring good conditioning the next time he competes. If he does that, I can see him do very, very well. With his size, with his shape, he has all the tools necessary. Basically, it's literally all about nailing the conditioning for him. If he does that, I have no doubt he's going to do very well. Alright, next up, we have Wesley Wissers, who also made the list of the biggest disappointments last year after the Mr. Olympia, and here he is again. Now, he won the Arnold Classic last year very convincingly, bringing crazy package. However, the Mr. Olympia, he failed, he placed 8th, and we thought he might bring back what he brought to the Arnold Classic last year at this show, at the Arnold Classic again. However, he failed, and I think he looked even worse than at the Mr. Olympia. Why is that? It's because he was sick the week coming to the show. He had some stomach issues. He was vomiting the whole week. He had the troubles eating the food. But I also heard that Mike Sommerfeld had the same issues. He was also vomiting. And you guys know how messed up Mike's health is, how sensitive his body is. And he managed to deliver. So is this truly an excuse? Well, yeah, it is. I mean, if you're vomiting, if you can't eat the whole week before the show, what can you end up looking like? I mean, let's be real. I don't know how Mike handled it, but I'm assuming his problem wasn't as bad. I mean, that's my guess. But do I think Wesley is his physique fading? Is he getting worse? In my opinion, no. I don't see any signs of that. I think it's just a missed peak. Look at this. Look what he did, that last front double bicep. Wesley was simply not at his A game at this show, and that's it. If he continues competing and his stomach gets healthy again, I'm sure he can nail it and look much better at Detroit Pro, which was his plan, but I heard that he is actually out of that show. That's not official. I don't know if it is true. Somebody told me, somebody who spoke to him. So it seems like his season is over. But I don't know why. He still needs to qualify for the Mr. Olympia, and why not do it now when he's already in shape? I mean, if it is only the peak week issue, he can fix that by Detroit. But maybe he thinks it's not enough time. Maybe he's gonna try to prep for New York or Pittsburgh. I have no idea. But I hope he's gonna continue competing, and I hope he's going to fix whatever went wrong here. If his stomach heals and he has a couple of weeks to maybe bring back the fullness that he lost and do a really good proper peak week without vomiting and all that, I'm sure he can bring back his absolute best. And if he brings to the Mr. Olympia what he brought last year to the Arnold Classic, I still believe he can win the Mr. Olympia, but he needs to improve a lot. This way, what he looked like at this show, he has no chance of even cracking the top 8 of the Mr. Olympia. So I don't think this is the beginning of the end for Wesley. I think he's going to be able to bring back what he lost, but he did disappoint here big time. Since he was the defending champion, we all thought he was going to be either first or second, but he fell all the way down to 5th, and that was probably a gift as well. But let's wait and let's see what can he bring in one of the upcoming shows, if his stomach issue is fixed and if he brings back what he lost and if he nails his peak week. Alright, the next biggest disappointment is definitely James Hollinshead. Following him during this prep and watching all the updates, I thought this was gonna be a really good James, that this is gonna be like something we all kinda expected him to finally bring. And, he was in condition, for sure. But was this his best look ever? I don't think so. I doubt that. I mean, he was lean, but nothing was popping out too much. And I'm showing you the video from the live stream because there are no photos of James anywhere. Not on his profile, not in the tagged section, on the other Instagram pages. I couldn't find anything, man, literally. There are videos of him in the callouts, and that's it. I guess he is not happy with what he looked like, and he didn't want to post anything, and I'm sure he is disappointed as well. He was 5th last year, and I guess he hoped for an improvement, but the lineup was deeper. However, in my prediction, I still had him in that 5th, and he placed 8th, and he was beaten by Sean Clarida. And I'm sure that was a huge blow to his ego, right? Being beaten by a 212 guy, I mean the shortest 212 guy that weighs only 180 pounds. And James, I don't know what he weighs on stage, but he's like 300 pounds in the off season. He's one of the bigger guys. It's just the quality that he's missing. And like, to be honest, like I like James as a personality and what he's doing in the gym, but as a bodybuilder on stage, I think this is it for me. Like I'm not gonna give him any top spots anymore. He tends to look really impressive in the gym, so much so that you can imagine him even like placing top 5, top 3 in a show like this. But no. Against these guys at this level, he just lacks the detail, the quality of the muscle, like the roundness to certain body parts. I mean, he's good. He's good for sure, but not that good. I had him much higher, a lot of people did as well as far as I know, and he just didn't look good enough to place as high as some of us thought. Alright, and finally, I'm just gonna briefly mention these two guys. I never had any huge expectations from them. Patrick Moore, who's a smaller guy, one of the smallest top IFBB pros in the Open, who can't make a weight for Classic for some reason, but is definitely not big enough for the Open, and Justin Rodriguez, who I thought might actually look better this time around because his waist seemed a lot smaller on his IG photos, but on stage it may have been smaller, but it seems like his other body parts are also smaller, much smaller. So I think like for the last couple of years that it's time for him to retire. And as far as Patrick Moore, I don't know what to say about this guy. He needs to get bigger, and if it hasn't happened in the past 6 years since he burst into the scene, it's probably gonna happen ever. So you guys tell me, what do you think about each one of these guys? If you guys enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up. For the biggest surprises video tomorrow, stay tuned, subscribe to this channel, and other very interesting news and some drama we also got. You're gonna like the next video I upload, guys, so stay tuned. Once again, subscribe to the channel, like the video if you enjoyed it. Thank you so much for watching, see you soon, all the best, and bye bye.